Okay, let me use the pink for the last graph. So right now we need to translate this brown one upward by 1 unit. So 1 unit, you see, half pi is here, right? So this is about the 1.57. So 1 unit is about this long. So this point shift to this point, and this point shift to this point, and this point shifted to this point, and this point shift to this point. Then this guy shift to this point. Then you draw the curve. Then this is the graph of y equal to negative 2 times cosine of 2 times x minus negative half pi, and then plus 1. Then finally we get the graph of this function for one fundamental cycle. You can extend this to another cycle in such a way, say you may do in such a way. Okay, and then we get the graph for 2 cycles. Complicated? Yeah, question?
You know the fundamental cycle?
Mm-hmm.
Negative half pi, normal half pi.
The fundamental cycle is from the negative half pi, say this guy is the negative half pi, and to half pi. Yeah, so from here to here. And then I just make a copy and then extend this to another cycle. Okay?
So, is it still the same? Like, it doesn't matter? Is it created a graphic from that original fundamental cycle within the graph?
I get the fundamental cycle of the cosine of 2x. That is from the 0 to pi. And then finally, I get the fundamental cycle for this function, for this original given function. So they should be consistent. Okay. Any other question? We know when we learn the Math135, we try to do a sequence of the transformations. The problem is always difficult, right? So you have to do this step by step and try to refer to the procedures on the page 454 for graphing the sine wave. Okay? Any other question? So for sine and cosine function, for a periodic function, after we know the period, we can define the frequency. So frequency is defined as the reciprocal. Okay, we use F for the frequency. It's defined as the reciprocal of the period. So here, this P is the period. Now let's look at the one problem. Let's look at the page 460, problem 78. We need to find the frequency of the sine wave determined by the cosine of the 0.001 pi x, where the x is in time, is time in seconds. So false. Let's try to find the period for this function. So our function is y equal to cosine of 0.001 pi x. Period P is equal to 2 pi divided by the coefficient of this x. So that is 0.001 pi, and this pi cancel, then 2 divided by the 0.001, you get the 2000. So this is the period for this function. Then frequency f is equal to the reciprocal of the period. So it's the 1 over the 2000, and then you get the value 0.0005. So this is the frequency of this sine wave. We have done 3 sections in the chapter 5, and let's do some true or false problem. And let's first look at the true or false problem of the section 5.1. Number 1, an angle is a union of 2 rays with a common endpoint. True or false? True or false? True, right? By the definition of angle, yeah, it's really the union of 2 rays with the common endpoint. This common endpoint is called the vertex of the angle. Number 2, the length of the rays of the angle A determine the degree measure of the angle A. True or false? False. Actually, the degree measure of the angle A does not depend on the length of the ray, right? The ray is a half line, its length is infinity. We don't care about the length of the ray. So this degree measure is not affected by the length of the ray. So this guy is false. Number 3, angles of the 5 degrees and the negative 365 degrees are coterminal. True or false? True or false? Why is false? When the 2 angles are coterminal, when the difference of their measures are the multiple of the 360 degrees, right? Now, what is the difference of these 2 degree measures? What is the difference? Let's get the difference. 5 minus negative 365 is equal to 370. Right? It's not a multiple of the 360. So this one is false.